Hello, Exiles. 3.17 is upon us, and we have one of the biggest updates since the release of Maven, probably, on our hands. So I thought I'm gonna make a quick video and give you a couple of tips to make your league start as smooth as possible. So let's get right into it. First things first. Did you know that you can set up your stash tabs before the league even starts? All you have to do is go to the corresponding parent league and rename your tabs. You can arrange them, you can already set up your affinities. Make sure you got some of the standard tabs that you will be using during the league, especially during the early process. So for example, use a dump tab, presumably a quad tab that you're just going to quickly shove some gear into that you're not currently using or that you might be using at some point. Stuff that you use for vendor recipes, all of that stuff. Usually I have one of those dump tabs. I have a tab for flasks, one for quality gems, whatever your needs might be. Set up something and you don't have that stress when you're just starting out. If you're playing hardcore, then you would go to standard hardcore and set up your stash tabs there. If you're playing solo self-found in SC, then you would go there. There really is no downside to it. I think the only thing you cannot do is set up your folders just yet, but that's not that much work after all, so shouldn't be an issue. Second tip, make sure you choose the right build for the right situation. 3.17 looks like it's going to be a bossing league. We have a bunch of new pinnacle encounters, difficult bosses that we do not know the mechanics of yet. So choosing a mapper might be good for currency, but if you're looking to tackle any of those new bosses, you might have picked the wrong choice. So make sure you choose a build that can actually do those encounters, and if you're a newer player, make sure you follow a build guide by a content creator that you trust, so that if you have questions, you can always go and ask them. And usually they have communities that are quite helpful and other people who play the same build, so your league progression will not crumble to a halt because you don't know what to do. If you're looking for inspiration, there are many league start videos coming out at the moment. I have my own. For hardcore, I'm going to be playing Explosive Arrow Ignite Hierophant, which I believe will be a meta build. But it might not be the best build for a newer player, seeing how it does involve some complicated mechanics. A quick side note on that, by the way, because it cannot be said often enough, the only way to play a video game wrong is to not have fun. So if you choose your league starter, make sure it's something that you already know you will enjoy the playstyle of. It's no use choosing the best build, or whatever that means, if you hate playing it. So just go for something that looks fun to you, maybe something out of your box because you never played it before. There are no wrong choices. Just have fun. Tip number 3. Prepare your loot filter. If you're using a service like Neverthings, Filterblade.xyz, you can already prepare your loot filter before the league launches, so why wouldn't you? It's not too time intensive, but you can make some considerations when setting it up. For example, if you're playing a caster build, you might not want to see two-handed axes or swords or whatever. Maybe you just go for wands and scepters and stuff. You can make specifics and highlight divination cards for unique items that you require for your build. You can set up leveling rules and all of that stuff. There are presets, there's everything you need. And later, once you get to maps, maybe you want to turn off some of those rules earlier that were necessary or useful to you, but maybe you don't want your screen to be cluttered with all of those rare items or even magic items, since they're just the right base. So you can just easily copy your own loot filter and create a stricter version, and just like start winding down on what is shown and what is hidden. Tip number 4 is something that I sometimes forget, and that is that I own a crafting bench. For just 1 orb of augmentation, I can craft some cold res if I just go into the Mava fight, or some lightning res later on. And it's super cheap and super efficient, so just do it. There's a whole vendor recipe out there that you can use to quickly create items on the spot. So, for example, if you play caster and you play, like, let's say Stormbrand, and you want some added lightning damage, you can sell a magic wand with a topaz ring and an orb of alteration to a vendor, and you receive a weapon that has added lightning damage to spells. Also an open suffix, so you can just easily put some resistances on that. There are a lot of things that you can do on the fly for very cheap, and it's very efficient. So make sure you know which vendor recipes would be relevant to you and your build. The link for that will be in the description. That's it from me. Thank you for watching, and if you have some tips of your own, make sure you drop them down in the comments. Wishing all of you a great league start for 3.17. So until then, Crusader out.